Hey, we are live on day 3 of the Joypreneur Summit, and we're on interview 4, Leslie Tyson. Oh my gosh, this is going to be hot. I cannot wait to share Leslie with you. Before we get started, I want to make a few quick announcements that are important. First of all, if you haven't done it yet, make sure to look for the link in the description, because guess what? Link in the description is going to tell you how to get all the freebies from all of our guests. You're going to hear about Leslie's freebie in a second, but we have freebies not only from every guest on the summit, but from all of our sponsors every single day. And so you definitely want to look for that link in the description, opt in, and get those goodies. Say hello. I see you all are chime in where you're listening in from. Good to see you, Annie, Laura. Keep those comments coming in. Yay. I'm so glad that you're here. I also want you to look for the link in the description on how to be a part of the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club. All summit long, we are hearing from people who are members of the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club. We're all together because you know what? We're tired of this story of the hustle and grind and work hard and work longer hours and, all of this get out of your comfort zone, discipline yourself, all that stuff that's out there telling entrepreneurs they can't be successful and have a good life and have a happy life. Well, guess what? Let's clue you in. Happiness is not the outcome. Happiness is the path. When you feel good, when you get happy, you get better ideas, you see opportunities, you show up as your best self, and guess what? You build your business faster. So now is the time to join the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club. And when you do, I will send you this. This is a limited time offer. I will send you the pen of expectation in the mail. This is the pen of expectation. Whatever you write with it will come true. And yes, I do ship it worldwide. So you want to get in on that. Now, if you're in the club and you're saying, hey, I want one of those pens, what are you doing? Go check for the post I made just yesterday and take a look, and you will see that there's a way for you to get it as well. Hey, Oregon's in the house. Canada's in the house. Delaware's in the house. Good to see you all. I'm so glad to see everybody coming in. That's great. Wait till you hear what we're going to talk about now. You're going to be so excited to hear this because we are going to hear from Leslie Tyson, who is a solopreneur AI strategist. So what Leslie does best is she takes chaos and she streamlines it into clarity. So imagine if you could run your business with smart systems using AI to clear away obstacles and be able to enjoy more focus, more growth, more time for yourself, all of that good stuff. I know we've got so many people out there who, if you're not already passionate about AI, you're definitely AI curious. And this is the interview for you. Without further ado, let me introduce Leslie Tyson. Yeah, the crowd goes wild.
Hello. Hi,
Hi,
Dana.
Leslie.
Thank you so much. I am so thrilled to be here. Thank you for
I'm
this
so
invitation.
I'm so excited to have you here too, because I do think like this is really a hot topic that people are trying to make sense of right now. They're trying to figure out the best way to either get involved with AI or the things not to use it on and all of that. I want to kind of start out with the typical entrepreneur and maybe the ways that they're wasting time. So I think all of us are guilty of doing things that waste our time, but there's probably some trends because you work with so many entrepreneurs that you see. What do you think are like the top biggest time wasters for most entrepreneurial businesses?
I'll tell you right away. I experienced it myself, and that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this with others. As a solopreneur, I wore all the hats. I had to do all the things, and I felt like I needed to. I had to do the bookkeeping, the client onboarding, the content creation, all of it. And I had other personal responsibilities. I'm also a caregiver for my mom who has Alzheimer's. Try juggling all of that, and you will find a recipe for chaos. I completely understand what it feels like to be in that position.
Yeah,
But
and burnout.
mm,
Like you get burnout when you're
burnout,
doing everything on your
not
own. And
sustainable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not sustainable. And frankly, when you get into that state, of overwhelm, as I'm sure everybody has heard me say before, you're not using your best brain either. So you're not making the
exactly.
best decisions. You're not moving forward in a good way. And so I think the thing that most people, when they hear AI or creating AI systems, the first thing they think is it's going to be hard. I need to be really technical. I need to learn how to write code to do it. Is AI for everybody, or do you have to have special skills to do it?
AI is here to stay, Dana. And if you are really reluctant to explore what it can do for you, unfortunately, you're gonna be left behind because it's here. Now, there's different levels of AI and how you can use it in your business, and that's where I come in because I can help you systemize and take that all the unknown tech jargony stuff out of it, and just let you enjoy AI. But there are a lot of things that you can do on your own, fairly simple, and I can also show you how to do that as well really quickly to implement into your business and create simple systems. Simplicity is the key to help eliminate that chaos.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny about new technology, isn't it? Because I'll give you a story. I hope my brother's not watching this. I'm gonna call you out right now if you are. But he held out for the longest time getting a cell phone, and he really thought he was going to like. And I'm not kidding. Like it wasn't. It was a decade at least that he held out without getting a cell phone. But eventually, he got a cell phone, and I kind of feel like AI is like that too. I think most of us are in agreement that, it can certainly be used for things that don't feel so ethical. And I also know that if we're using it and we understand it and you were experimenting with it and we're doing those things, we can be part of the conversation for how to shape it for the future, for how to
Mhm.
use AI for good, because it is going to definitely be used for a lot of really good
Yes.
things as well.
I totally agree with you, Dana. And I want to encourage everyone to look at AI as what it is. It's a tool. And like any tool, if you use it properly, it it will benefit you greatly. Used in the wrong way, it can cause some harm, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to use AI to benefit ourselves, our businesses, our lives, and that's all it takes. It's kind of like a gun. It can be used for protection, and it can be used for harm. Same way. AI is
Yeah.
here to help you.
It's like every device. TV can be used for good or evil. You know what I mean? Like if you look at
That's so
everything,
true.
everything can be used for for good or
That's
bad.
so
Yeah, it's
true.
all, and we're so lucky. Like this sandbox, we've got so many people doing good, awesome things in the world. Like how much better if you could reclaim some of your time and use AI in a positive way. So what do you
Yes.
think is the biggest mistake that most entrepreneurs are making, that's taking their time and energy? Obviously wearing a lot of hats is one of them, but do you think there are any specific tasks that if they only knew, it would be so much easier for them if they would use AI? Like let's dig into like the specifics of
Sure.
what's wasting our time. What's wasting our time and energy that could be fixed?
I think for everyone it might be a little different, but uh, I guess I would say that anything that is taking up your time, anything that is taking you away from doing the thing that you're passionate about, and it's usually the mundane, administrative, back office type tasks where you're sending out emails, creating campaigns, drawing up content, scheduling appointment. You get it. It's all the stuff that you do need to do for your business. You can't eliminate that, and yet it's taking away from what you do, what you shine at. If you're coaching, if you're teaching, things like that. So I think you can start anywhere from one of those tasks that is really eating up a lot of your time, or to make it even simpler, something that you just hate doing. It's like, well, I can do this, but this is really not my forte, or I just hate writing content, things like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking about it, like I'm wondering, yeah, I'm just trying to put myself, because I use AI so much now that I'm trying to put myself back. like I'm pretending like I've never touched it before. I've never used it. I'm just thinking of doing one thing. Like, should I do an assessment of the things I'm doing to begin with? Or should I do like an energy assessment of like, which things am I doing that I really don't like to do? Or what would be the first step for figuring out which one task
You know what?
to just play with and test, you know?
Well, I mean, funny you should say that. It just kind of came to mind. Why not ask AI?
Yeah.
And there are a ton of tools out there, and I won't bore you with a whole long list. I think everyone's familiar with ChatGPT, so I'll go with that, ChatGPT. Now, the mistake a lot of people make is that they treat it like a Google on steroids. They use it like a search engine on steroids, and they just pop in a question, and then they expect this wonderful answer. And when they don't get it, they're like, meh, that wasn't what I was expecting. Well, there is a process to it where you can actually get the kind of output and results that you want from AI, and you would be amazed. And it's really
Oh,
not all that hard.
yeah. Talk about the
Yeah.
process. Let's hear it. That's great.
Okay. So all right. So for recently, my website of all things crashed. Doesn't it happen to all of us? It crashed. And there were a number of things that I was doing that were integrating other platforms. I don't want to go into the details, but they weren't talking to each other. You touch one thing, it breaks something else, and I had to get the Google tech support involved. He didn't lead me down the right path. I got my hosting tech support involved, and whatever his solution was broke something else, and then I was just okay. What's going on here? You know what? I turned to Chat GPT, and with a system of proper, specific prompts, and it's called prompt engineering. I got it to help me resolve my own problem. 2 years ago, I would not have been able to do that. I am not a hosting tech Gmail guru. No, but I am an AI strategist, and I know how to talk to ChatGPT to make him give me him. I'm calling him him. I'm sorry because I call him Chad sometimes. ChatGPT Chad. Hey Chad.
I call it chatty. I call it chatty.
Oh,
So
Chatty,
we're in
yeah.
the same, yeah, chatty. So
Okay. I hope you
when you
don't think
say
I'm weird, but
not at all, not if you don't think I'm weird, we're all good. So the thing I noticed that that when you said prompt engineering, I think most people
yes.
think like, oh, I'm not a prompt engineer, that's going to be hard. But what you really mean, I think specifically, is when you go into ChatGPT and you've got that blank box, just like you're texting with a friend,
Yes.
you actually type in some things that tell it ahead of time how you want it to act. And so could you give me some examples of
Yes,
sentences that you might say, maybe in this case, that you might have said to it to say,
absolutely.
here's how I want you to act for me.
Exactly. So, most people would say, like, for example, I would say, hey, my website's broken. What do I do? Well, that's not going to get you an answer, right? It doesn't know where to begin with that. But you start out saying, you are the hosting expert and tech guru. I have a situation with my website. I was attempting to XYZ. I connected this and that. You give it context. So, first of all, you give it a role. You tell it what it is. You're an expert tech support agent. And then you give it context. This is what happened. This is what I did. This is what I need to happen. And give it to me in a short summary, 200 words or less. Or give me step by step instructions of what I need to do. You can actually dictate how you want the output given back to you.
I
And
do
you can
that
even
step by
prompt it
step
with,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, the step by step. And you can even say, ask me any other questions you need in order to provide an excellent response or to give me the exact solution for this situation, this problem. And
That's
you'll
so
be amazed at what you get.
That's so simple. Let me repeat what you said. So the first thing is tell Chatty, what how you who you want it to be, how you want it to act. So you are an expert copywriter, you are a WordPress expert, you are a website hosting expert, whatever thing you want them to be.
Mhm.
Number two, give it context. Be very specific. Here's the problem I'm experiencing. And then don't be afraid to say, like, do you need any information from me to further this along? Are there other questions that I should be asking you? I notice sometimes too that if I'm not clear enough, I can always tell where I'm not clear enough in the answer that I get, because I'll get an answer that's like, I'm like, okay. And then of course I'm always talking to like a friend, like, I'm sorry, I don't think I was very clear the first time.
No kidding.
Let me explain what I meant when
Actually,
I said this, you know. And but if you do that, if you set the groundwork for how you want it to behave, you can save yourself
exactly.
so many hours. What are
Yes.
some of the top things that you see solopreneurs wanting to get done for themselves when they're ready to, use AI on a regular basis? I was thinking, for example, I think people are afraid to use it for things like writing emails or writing blog posts because they're afraid that it won't sound like them, or they, it won't do like, what kinds of things do you think entrepreneurs do on a regular basis that they could be doing with AI instead?
Well, it's excellent to help you writing email content, any content, even social media content as well. But especially for an email content where you want it to sound like your voice. First of all, you can of course give it the context of what you're trying to send, what message you're trying to send, and then you can even tell it the tone. If it knows you enough, if you, for example, if you have a paid version and you've been inputting a lot, it kind of already knows your style, and you can say,
Right.
write it in my tone, or you can say, make this friendly and warm and inviting, not too technical, and add a bit of a touch of humor. So you can actually
Yeah.
set the tone. And then when it spits it back out, of course, you always want to edit because you always want to have your actual input and not just kind of copy and paste it. But it gives you a good
Yeah.
framework to start with. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great way of saying it. I couldn't have said it better. Kind of thing.
Totally, right? And you can also give it examples of your past emails and say, here's some examples of how I write or the style, and do it that way. Do you know, Leslie, one
Exactly.
of the one of the things I use AI for a lot, and I'm just getting the hang of it. I had an experience. I was having some challenges with this computer, and I'm like, okay, it's time. I have to upgrade this computer. So I went out, of course, and I went to Google and I started searching like options for computer and my parameters. And I was 2 minutes into it where I went, why am I doing
Why
this?
am
Do you know how many
I?
hours this is going to take me to do this? Like, seriously, how many hours of research would it take for me to read
Yes.
all these? And so I went into AI and I said, da 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 da, here are my parameters. Here's what I need. Here are the things I use it for. Here are my preferences.
Give me
Knock
the
me out.
top five and
I'm not
give me a
kidding.
comparison in a comparison table. Give me the top five and with the cost and all of that, and it'll just spit out seconds.
It's so true,
Right?
and so you're talking about days of my life that was just
Yeah.
saved, and frankly, I'm not that good of a researcher, you know what I mean? So it's not
It takes
only that my
time
life
to
was
dig
saved,
in.
it's not only that my life was saved, but, like, AI definitely did a better job than I would have done, and
It's
then
true.
you get the
Mhm.
answer, and I can go, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I've got rural internet. Is there any other consideration I should have?" And so you can refine and add and say, okay, I've made a decision, I want this, what about this? And it's like having an encyclopedia at your fingertips. It's like having every
Yes.
internet website at your fingertips. So I also think too, another way entrepreneurs can use it is brainstorming. And so maybe you could speak to that a little bit about brainstorming ideas in your business.
That I use that frequently, actually. When you just are stuck for ideas, and again, you're always giving it a context because you want it to act as if you are and you give it a role, right? You always want it to be an expert content creator, a champion sales marketing and sales agent or director, and then you give it like, this is what I want to do. You can even give it your copy and just say, refine this, make this better. And give me an image for it too. Give me some suggestions for an image, and then you got a complete social media post with the image, with the content. Add the hashtags. It'll just give you everything, and actually do that 20 times over so I have enough for the whole month. Something like
Oh,
that.
right.
And
Yeah.
you also, it also, and I think you touched on this, but you can actually attach documents. So if you have copy that already says, for example, your company culture, your mission statement, your everything that reflects you or your business in a document, a PDF or a Word doc, you can upload it, and then it will take that into context. So
Yeah.
knowing this, help me create this. And I need
Fantastic.
50 of them. So you don't have to go one at
Seriously,
a time.
it's
Right.
fantastic, and it feels like cheating, right? Except here's the thing, I wanna go back to something Leslie said that's really important, and it's been my experience anyway. I almost never get something back from GPT that I go, "Okay, good, let's cut and paste or let's do this," you know?
Right.
But what you do is you get for me anyway, you get kind of like a collaborator or a starting point or an idea generator, and so you can see, you know, you can get ideas. I know
Yes.
sometimes in some of my higher end masterminds, we've used ChatGPT for helping to define our ideal clients and really get a better handle on the clients that we're trying to attract and what their needs are, what the pain points are that they're experiencing. And when you know that, you can create more content. Do you ever use it for things like defining mission or defining ideal clients or things like that? Any other ideas like that for that kind of foundational business stuff?
Absolutely. So when you know who you're targeting, who your ideal client is, you can define that in the chat that you're submitting, and ask it, what kinds of things does this demographic find interesting, fun? What keeps them up at night? What would appeal to them? What buzzwords would capture their attention? Give me a
Oh,
list or
nice.
whatever, things like that. And we're talking whole life here, so we're talking about our business, but then there's the other aspect of our life, and you're all about having a good time, having fun in your business, simplifying, enjoying life. And ChatGPT or any other LLM, it's a large language model, any of those will be able to provide that if you want to turn to it in a pinch. I've used it for, hey, okay, I'm not going to give you the full prompt because this is quite elaborate, but in essence, I helped it formulate my portfolio for rebalancing to the perfect degree that I wanted for this stage. and it
Love it.
and it I mean, we went back and forth, and until I was like, okay, this is it.
I
And I
love
know what
it.
to do. So it's like not just your business, but your whole
Oh,
life. I was
recipes,
speaking to a
trips,
friend, trip,
recipes,
pla-
trips, planning
planning
your meals.
travel trips. Yes, planning travel. I had a
Yeah.
friend who was is looking for a job, and she paid a nice chunk of change to someone to draft up her resume. And I was like, oh, you, why don't you try ChatGPT? Like, if you have your old rusty dusty resume, pop it in there, and then you can give it, whatever updates, and just say, refine this, make me shine. This is the company that I'm looking to be hired at, and this is, you can even pop that company's email website URL.
Yeah,
So it's going to search that company,
that's
and then
great.
create a resume with a cover letter even that makes you shine. And she said, oh, I want to cry, because she did that after she had paid a chunk of change.
Oh no.
And
Oh, that's
ChatGPT
brilliant.
did 10 times better than the resume person there.
That
And
is
but she
just
said, you know what, it was a good lesson, so it was money
that's
well spent.
I
She
was
said
gonna
it
say
was
she
money well
just
spent.
paid. It's like she paid for college there, realizing that
Yes,
she.
it
Yeah,
was
I
it was
love
a
it.
lesson. But
Oh, that's funny. I want to bring
yeah.
this back to mindset, and I'm going to tell you a little chat GPT story that'll crack you up, and then I want to hear your ideas on mindset. But I remember one night I was really tired, and I was, kind of just going to sign off on the computer, but I was feeling just a little tired and a little low, and I had chat GPT open, so I typed in, Chatty, I'm feeling a little low. Say something to cheer me up. I'm not kidding. It said, here's a dad joke. And did you know that otters hold hands while they're swimming? Let me make a picture of that otter for you. And I'm not kidding. In 5 seconds, I was just smiling and laughing so hard, going like, oh my gosh, I'm out of a job. Chatty's like a mindset coach now too. Like so good.
That
Like
there is
talk
that
about
too.
yeah, talk about how important it is. Like the first of all, maybe the use of mindset in your own life,
Hmm.
how you've been
Hmm.
using it to build your business, or anything you also want to say about mindset related to AI or entrepreneurship.
Okay, so there's a lot of talk about AI this and AI that, and I think people are starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed with the AI, the whole AI movement. And I want to just say, it's here to stay, and if you can embrace it as something that will assist you, and not something to be feared, but something to be excited about, the things
Yes.
that it can do for you will just blow your mind. I mean, you've already shared some. I can use it to practice Japanese. So, if I want to
Yeah.
improve speaking a language, I will use the audio version of it, and I'll just say, "Hey, can you help me practice Japanese? Let's just engage in a conversation. Go ahead, you start," kind of thing. And he'll say something, and I'll say something, and then at the end, I say, "So, how did I do?" And you know what I love about ChatGPT? Well, we're talking about ChatGPT right now. He has a great mindset.
Yeah,
Positive mindset. He
it's
is
true.
always encouraging. He's always kind and thoughtful in his responses.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
never beats me up or berates me or
Yeah.
criticizes. He's so pleasant, and it just always boosts my confidence. So
You know what?
there you
You're
go.
right,
He knows how
Leslie.
to talk to us.
That's really, really worth pointing. It always ends on a positive. It's so true. And I'll tell you something else too, because I also use it for language and everything, honestly. And I love it and I'm excited about it and everything it can do. And what I also realize is, and the more I think people play with it, they realize the things that it can't be. And the things that it can't be is it
Mm,
can't be you. It can't be you, your life experience, your stories, your history. And so, in some ways, when I'm using it to brainstorm or collaborate or come up with ideas or think of things, it's really like almost feeling a little bit superhuman. You get to, leverage AI for the things for speed. You get to leverage AI for speed,
absolutely.
but you also know that there are just certain things that make you you that and
Mhm.
then also
It's
like
not
a
going to
side
replace.
thing, it makes you feel better about stepping up into the world as you because you realize AI is never going to do that. It's never going to replace who I am. Does that make sense? I'm ranting now.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? People are afraid, oh, AI is going to replace us. It will replace some redundant, boring, uh, you know, tasks, but it can never do without the human input because it's nothing without the human input. It needs
Yeah,
that in order to have the output. So
yeah,
it can only do as much as you put into it. And
yeah.
and then the human touch will always be necessary. So you won't be
I couldn't
replaced.
No, I couldn't agree more. And it's also like go into it, just like Leslie said, with a feeling of excitement and fun and playfulness. Like, what an incredible time we all get to be witness to right now. When I
Exactly.
was a child, this was our wildest dreams to have this. And we're here alive getting to experience this now. So be part of the excitement of entering this new frontier that we're entering it together. So do you have any final like tips, mindset or AI wise or anything wise? If somebody is just listening now before we say
Mhm.
goodbye, what would be your parting advice to them?
I think, first of all, as I mentioned, AI is here to stay. Embrace it. See it as a tool. It can be your greatest asset, honestly. And not something to be feared. It's something to have fun with. I think it can do a lot in that way. Like you said, it'll tell you jokes if you're feeling down. But just yeah, I think learn more about it. And if not having fear, and if you're still a little reluctant, that's what I'm here for. So I can hopefully shed some light on it and make it a little bit more easier to digest, and to guide the way on making AI your best ally.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Leslie. I sure enjoyed that. Didn't you all enjoy that too? How cool is Leslie? Oh man. And don't you just want it? Now, don't leave me yet to go sign into ChatGPT because I have to tell you that Leslie has a free gift for you and I want you to go get it right now. You're wondering, well, how can I save 10 hours a week? I don't know which things to upload. Well, guess what? The freebie that she's giving you is a 7-day mini challenge. save 10 hours a week. So go sign up and get that, take that mini challenge, figure out how AI can help you. And how do you do it? You look for the link in the description. And when you go to the link in the description, you'll get not only Leslie's freebie, but the freebie of all of our different experts that have been on the summit, as well as all of our sponsors. For example, Carrie Driscoll is offering grief support guides. And I'm going to tell you something. If you know somebody who is grieving, or you are grieving yourself and you wonder, like, how can you do it in a different way? Well, this is the person for you. You want to get those guides. Imagine being in a club, the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club, with all these experts rippling out to the world in all of these different areas of life. And when you come in there, your stories, your opinions, your experiences, your questions are valuable, because when you initiate the conversation or when you comment, what we do together, we create something more than we can do by ourselves. We are able to have those engagements that help us to have exponential growth in our businesses. This is, I have to say, since I started the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club, I feel like my life is on supercharge and my business is on supercharge too, because I'm learning from all of these experts too, just like everybody in the club. So if you want to be a part of the Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club, now is the time, because this offer is going away. When you sign up now, I will send you this pen, the expectation pen, in the mail. This is the pen of expectation. Whatever you write with it will come true. And yes, I do ship worldwide. Here's a couple of great mantras from Leslie. My dreams are already in motion. Ooh, good, right? I'm making progress every day. My life is rich with opportunities. I'm in control of my thoughts and emotions. Oh, just juicy, good stuff, right? I know you are loving it. Give a shout out in the comments and say, yeah, whoop, whoop. I love seeing all these comments coming in that the club is amazing. So many great ideas, very interesting, wonderful interview, all this good stuff. Thank you, everybody. Sit tight, because I'm back at the top of the hour. That's 29 minutes from now. I will be back with Sandy Kretzmar. You know what? Sandy is a past life adventurer. She's just finished her novel, 40 Years in the Making, about her former incarnations. And if you have ever wondered if you have a past life, if you've ever wondered if you have a novel in you, if you've ever wondered if you are intuitive or tapping into things, this is the interview for you. We're going to have such an interesting conversation. I know you're going to love it. In the meantime, take some time now, go to the link in the description, get Leslie's 7-day save 10 hours a week challenge, Carrie Driscoll's grief guides, all the other positive stuff that's there. I will see you back here in 28 minutes for more on the Joypreneur Summit. Whoop, whoop. Bye, everybody.